absence due to military leave. Councilman Livingston.
Present.
Councilwoman Franz.
Present.
Councilman Taylor.
Present.
Councilman Backstrap.
Present.
Councilman Monzo.
Present.
President Scanlon.
Present.
6 here, 1 absent, strict.
Okay, now on approval of minutes from September 4th business meeting and September 13th special business meeting. Councilman Monson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand and ask for approval of minutes from September 4th, 2019 business meeting, September 12th, 2019 special business meeting. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We want to set a public hearing. Jessica, you did it.
The Binghamton City Council and the Mayor of the City of Binghamton will hold a public hearing regarding the local law amending the Code of the City of Binghamton, Chapter 265, Housing and Property Maintenance, to establish a local government code enforcement program for parking garages on October 9th, 2018 at the regularly scheduled business meeting.
Thank you. Now on to public comment. You have 5 minutes. Please be respectful. State your name and your address, please.
You're the closest one. So I'll send this to you all, but I'm going to talk about this, but I just want you to look at that.
You want me to pass this around?
If you want to, yeah. So I got an email, and it's from a source that goes under a code name, but I found this source to be reliable in the past. And I think we have to clear it up. Leanna Testani left the clerk's office. She went to another position in the city of Binghamton. According to this email, again, by a source that has been credible in the past, she was being pestered by Councilman Scarinci, and that was the reason she left the clerk's office. Now, if you read the email, you will see that there's an accusation there that Ken Frank, the City Corporation Council, engineered this. So, I think it merits some further exploration.
Nothing to do with that at any time. Came with a substantial pay raise, and it was her choice to do so in order to open up the deputy city clerk's position. I'm happy to discuss that further with you, particularly because we're talking about a potential or alleged victim of something as deep and meaningful and horrid as sexual assault. I really encourage us not to give people's names who can't defend themselves on the record or otherwise make a comment. She did not make a complaint, and I'm sure she would take, I'm sure would have a chilling effect for future people if they thought that somebody would come here and essentially put their names on this. I hope you can understand.
Well, yes, but I'm referring to an email that I got. The email is legitimate. You know, I mean, it's a public position. She left a public position, and this council has purview over that office. So,
I can't unlock my phone, but if you want to send me or my office, that would be great.
Yeah.
I assure you understand the importance of putting on the record tonight for her benefit, let alone Councilman Scarinici's benefit, who can't be here because that's a private service. But please send it to us so we can take a look at it. But as much as I believe that this is a quote reliable source, I am the source.
okay, now how much time do I have? That was probably about 4 minutes, I
Get
was.
it all back.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, now on Councilman Scarinci's military service, you know, you volunteer for the Army, you volunteer to run for city council. there's conflicting stories on this one. I read, Lighton provided me with the email. As far as his withdrawal for pay request, state law would prohibit him as a public officer from, I think, 5 days pay is all you can get. So it's a request that he's complying with the law. But did he enlist? And is he in basic training now, or is he deployed? Now see, there's a big difference in that. There's a very, very big difference. Because I don't think that there's any question that he's interested in becoming mayor. And people join the service for various reasons, but of late, a lot of candidates from the top to the bottom are wanting to put military service on their resume. And I think it's very strange that after the ballot closed, and he had no political opposition for this election, that he, from what I gather, what I believe, enlisted in the military. So that's very strange. Now, council by charter, after any council person misses 2 meetings, you can appoint a city council person of that party. They don't have a vote, I don't believe, but they can be here and function at, I think you did this once before, but I read the charter, you can do it. 2 meetings, and you can appoint another council person. That person would handle constituent service. I believe you should do that. I don't believe that it's right that someone misses more than 1/3 of the year for that. So I would urge you, this is the first meeting, the second meeting, after the second meeting, to pursue and appoint a temporary council person. Because again, people need representation. We should have that large representation. Unfortunately, we don't. Now, I got an automatic email from Mr. Councilman Scarinci that listed all the departments. You know, it's call these people. I'm not going to be here. So I think that constituents are entitled to a council person. I think, if you wanted to transcend party lines, I think Tony Massar would do it for you. Again, no vote, doesn't have a vote, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, the next thing is, are you going to take a vote on the sewer with Scarinci absent? Because that's important too. That's part of this whole package I'm drawing up tonight. Because if you're going to allow this council to have a vote on that contract, and he's going to be off with the military and wash his hands of the whole thing after doing due diligence and following it, he's a good listener and all that, then that's a scam. That's a real scam. And that adds another conspiratorial level to this sudden departure. So I just think this, right now, you've been asked this directly by people here, when is the vote? You don't know. It's not scheduled yet. Is it a possibility that it could be done without Councilman Scarinci? Well, that's really, really curious, because it's the biggest vote in the history of the city of Binghamton. Bigger than urban renewal, it pales in comparison. And not to have him here, and to essentially give him cover to go out and run for mayor is really quite something. Okay, we got that ugly business out of the road. I have to pass these things on up the chain. And it's not like we haven't had any problems in this area before. Now, resource officers. I was involved with a city resource officer. It's on Twitter, John Solak, Binghamton Daily on Twitter. You can see the interactions between a resource officer trying to stop me from publicly videoing out front of the school. You can also see the principal of the school. You can see the first encounter, which is they walk away, both resource officers, because there's nothing, it's just lawful activity. Then the next day, tremendous pressure was put on this resource officer to shoo me away. Now, I've since worked it out with the commanding officer, but there is a real problem with these resource officers and the pressure that is exerted on them from the school district. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none? Move on. On to the non-preferred agenda. Pick up the ordinance 19-101, considered finance, Councilman Papstrad.
Thank you, Mr. President. As for unanimous consideration, the ordinance 19-101.
Second.
This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 capital fund budget with consolidated budget lines.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question.
Question been called?
Councilman Scarnati is absent due to military leave. Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Papstrad.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Scanlon.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, restricted.
Pick up the ordinance 19-102, considered finance, Councilman Papstrad.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of ordinance 19-102. This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 capital fund budget and increase various capital water funds for expenses from the sand filter rehabilitation project.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question.
Question been called?
Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Papstrad.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Scanlon.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, restricted.
Introductory ordinance 19-103, considered finance, Councilman Papstrad.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have unanimous consideration of introduction ordinance 19-103.
Second.
This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 capital fund budget to transfer funds for hardware and software.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question.
Question been called?
Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Papstrad.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Scanlon.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, restricted.
Introductory ordinance 19-104, considered finance, considered planning, I'm sorry, Councilman Monson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I'd like to make a motion to declare City Council as lead agency and seeker. Second. And
All in favor?
Aye.
then I'd like to make a motion to identify the purpose, action as an unlisted under seeker. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to issue a negative declaration under seeker for the following reasons. This is a vacant lot. Mr. Balo owns adjacent property. The property to be transferred must be maintained, may only be used as green space. The sale is part of the city's side lot program. The vacant lot must be merged with Mr. Balo's adjacent property at 54 Holland Street. The transfer will preserve green space and provide future maintenance. Can I get a motion, please? Can I get a second? Second.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Papstrad.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Scanlon.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, restricted.
That was now I stand for unanimous consideration on ordinance 19-104. Second. An ordinance authorizing the sale of 56 Holland Street to George Bale.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question.
Question been called?
Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Papstrad.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Scanlon.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, restricted.
Here's introductory ordinance 19-105, considered planning, Councilman Monson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand and ask for unanimous consideration on ordinance 19-105. Second. An ordinance to amend permanent resolution 18-135 to utilize different funding budget lines.
Questions or comments?
Call the question.
Question been called?
Councilman Livingston.
Aye.
Councilwoman Krantz. Aye. Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Capstrap,
Aye.
Councilman Mazza,
Aye.
President Scanlon,
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, granted.
Introductory ordinance 1978, considered in finance, Councilman Baxter.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of Resolution 19-78. Second. This is a resolution terminating prior resolutions and authorizing the mayor to enter into new agreements with the Pipe Development Company, LLC, and CPL Architects, Engineers, Landscape Architects, and Survivor EPC for a parking garage at 7 August.
Questions or comments?
Call the question.
Yeah, I think we need to explain this a little bit. At one point, we recall we had a plan to put 7 Hollis Street parking garage and some housing that's attached to it. This is retail space. Since then, that deal has been changed, where the city is receiving a substantial amount of more grant money, $400,000 to build this garage. There won't be a housing unit or retail space attached to it. This will be just strictly a parking garage. And hopefully it will be supported, we'll get it out the drawing board and get a new parking garage.
Thank you, Councilman. Other questions, comments?
Call the question.
Question to call?
Councilman Livingston,
Aye.
Councilwoman Fox, Councilman Taylor,
Aye.
Councilman Capstrap,
Aye.
Councilman Mazza,
Aye.
President Scanlon,
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absent, granted.
Introductory resolution 19-79, considered in finance, Councilman Baxter.
Mr. President, ask the Senate for unanimous consideration for introductory resolution 19-79. And this is a resolution authorizing the Binghamton Fire Department to accept a grant from the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for radio equipment.
Questions or comments, Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President. So this piece of legislation was only added today, so I don't actually know too much about it. My main question is, are there any attachments that are coming down from the city, from the Department of Homeland Security? It's maybe a question for Corporate Council. Is there anything that we are required to do as a city or municipality aside from accept this money by receiving this money?
Pension funds.
My understanding is no, grant can have to review the terms of grants. There's a board decision that's binding on the Department of Homeland Security that if it's anything on release of information such as unlawful status, for example, or operating device. So my understanding is that that makes it still good law. Every time we bring it back to the Department of Homeland Security, is that, you know, if they have a provision in it, who said this is not enforceable, they've accepted that. So I don't know if it's in the terms of the agreements. I haven't reviewed it personally. Ken said absolutely not. I can also say that as a matter of law, it would be unenforceable.
And then following up on that, did this just get sent down today because, you know, they want the money as soon as possible, or is there a deadline? I mean, why was this rushed down without going even through a work session? I mean, it'd be one thing if it were expedited, but is there a specific reason why? Yeah.
Fire chief came down today, and he expressed to us that there's 3 weeks in between our next business meeting, and they want to get this money as soon as possible. So that was what I'm under the impression of that was the administration wanted to do.
Okay. Thank you for the answer.
Other questions or comments?
Call the question.
Question to call?
Before I take a vote, would anyone other than Councilwoman Krantz and Councilman Capstrap like to add their name as a sponsor?
I would guess. Anyone else?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Councilman Taylor?
I'm not gonna, I don't think I would add my name as a sponsor because I still don't have a question. I mean, I support it, you know.
Councilman Livingston? Would you like to add your name as a sponsor to this legislation? No? Livingston?
Abstain.
Can you see why you're abstaining?
I haven't had a chance to review this.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of our protocol and our rules, the extension, the circumstances would be proper. Hold on the other hand, we can get a second, we can one from. However, I can't tell words that come from your mouth.
I'm not looking to hold over business.
If you read it, it gives you time to tell you what it is.
Would we like to have a group discussion about the legislation before we take a vote?
Well, no, this is my, let me read the whole.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Please do. That would be great.
I'll start with the title. See, I want to ask for a second to see this about reading. So this is a resolution authorizing the fire department to accept the grant to the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for radio equipment. Whereas the Binghamton Fire Department has been awarded a grant in the amount of $417,233 from the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program for the replacement of various radio equipment. And whereas the city will pay national funds in the amount of $23,796, that the matching funds will be taken from the budget line fire equipment. The training instructor will be the grant project manager. That the anticipated date of project completion is December 21st, 2019. Now therefore, the council of the city of Binghamton convened in regular session this year by resolve that the Binghamton Fire Department is authorized to accept a grant from the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for up to $417,000 and resolve that the mayor or his designee is hereby authorized to enter into and execute an agreement approved as conformed in content by the Office of Corporation Counsel with the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program to accept such grant and that the comptroller is authorized to amend the budget accordingly.
I just want to clarify for the purposes of the record, fire chief's understanding that this is something we would have to wait 3 weeks for. Not true. Obviously, a series of special meetings occurring over the next 2 weeks. Advising that just because so we feel like we're in a position that we don't have all the information tonight, as much as the fire chief believes that the police and operational necessities and sees this and just to accept this now. But if you're in a position where you don't think you have enough information because you just got it today, you can schedule it as an agenda item, as a regular business meeting item on one of the special meeting days.
Like I said before, I'm not seeing it, so,
Thank you, though.
yeah.
So continue on. David. Okay. Let's vote.
Councilman Livingston?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Krantz? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papstrap?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
President Scanlon?
Aye.
That's 5 ayes, 1 abstention, Livingston, and 1 absent.
Now on to comments from council members. We'll start tonight with Councilwoman Krantz.
Thank you, President. October 11th, I will be hosting, along with the Senate and the Healing Elements Spa Salon, the second annual Women's Day of Beauty. This is for cancer survivors. A lot of the times when people are going through cancer treatments, they lose their hair, they don't feel well, and they just don't feel like they look beautiful. And this day is just there to remind them that they are beautiful. We offer a whole bunch of facials, tips on what to do with your hair, wigs, along with other things like yoga and massages and counseling. It's a time when we can get together and just build each other up as they're going through cancer treatments, or if they are a survivor. My sister, when she was 40, had cancer, breast cancer, and it was very hard. I'm 40 now, so it's something that's on my mind. My father also died from cancer, so this is something that hits home for me, and I just want to make sure that everybody know that there are people there that do care about them. So October 1 is the state meeting. I always look forward to that, and I look forward to carrying this tradition on and being out there and in city council. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I'd just like to start by putting on the record once again that I'd like to have some sort of clarity as a duly elected council member of the 4th District of the City of Binghamton as to when the largest vote in our city's history is happening. We've got a lot of city employees that are a little bit scared and are eagerly awaiting any news, and it's quite frustrating that as a council member, I am not receiving insight into this very, very, very important decision. Who, for example, makes that decision? Where is the committee in the process in terms of selecting or not selecting the company? If you're not there yet, if you're not ready yet, that's fine, I guess, but there needs to be some level of communication with the elected officials that are tasked to make this decision about what the status of the process is. Because as I think we all agree, it really is one of the most important votes in the history of our city. It certainly has major consequence for many people, and of course the ratepayers. So I'd like to put that on the record as an official request. I'm looking forward to the budget hearings over the next couple of weeks with all of you. I think we all have a priority of decreasing the tax rate as much as possible, certainly as the mayor outlined in his budget address. It's always been an exciting process to go through what is almost a $100 million budget and ensure that we're doing the best that we can for our residents, for our city's employees, and then along the way making sure that we can always consistently lower the tax burden for our homeowners and commercial businesses as well. So I look forward to starting and continuing that process over the next couple of weeks. As always, tons of stuff to do in Binghamton. One thing that you need to do if you haven't yet, tonight and tomorrow night are the last 2 nights of Binghamton Restaurant Week. And I think this year, more than ever, you're seeing these restaurants go all out with some delicious menus, really cementing that Binghamton, New York is the food capital of upstate New York. So if you haven't gone downtown for Restaurant Week yet, certainly support them and also have yourself a thoroughly enjoyable foodie experience. You won't regret it. Lastly, I'd like to, since we do have a three-week break between meetings, from now until our next meeting, I just wanted to wish all of the Jewish residents of Binghamton and the Southern Tier a happy Rosh Hashanah. So thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Babster. Councilman Matzo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, everyone. Little break in between our joint water treatment budget area, and Mr. Solak came up to me and just came in my face. Was questioning me about Mr. Scarangi or Councilman Scarangi and this Liana thing, which, like I said to him, I understand Liana left because she got a better position. If you think about it, it was not a foolish move, it was a smart move. Because if this party loses, that is in control right now, she would lose her position as the assistant city clerk. So she got a full-time position, and I think it was a smart move on her part. I knew nothing about what's going on with Councilman Scarangi and that. Then he's questioning me on when did he leave and why. He didn't tell us. He just said he was going to the military. I thought he was, part of it. I don't know. And personally, I want to thank him for serving, serving our country. I really do. And that takes a lot of guts. So, thank you, Councilman Scareggi, for serving. I look forward to working on the budget too this year. We've got it cut down, according to our mayor, 3.02. It's going to be exciting to see if we can cut it down more. It would be really nice to do that and see where we go from here and there. It's always a fun time to work on. And then, again, like Councilman Taylor said, we do have some great restaurants in the city of Binghamton. And I do support them. We have quite a few of them. I don't want to mention names because I don't want to upset anybody if I don't mention their name. But we have some great Italian restaurants, some great regular hamburgers, different things like that. So support restaurant league, support our restaurants in Binghamton. And I'll mention the Park Dining Club. That's one of the parks in my district. So anyway, have a great week and thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Mazza. On to Councilman Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to start by actually just highlighting the public hearing that we've got coming up on October 9th. This zoning overhaul actually addresses a lot of the concerns that we addressed, not just at city council meetings, but at the particular planning commission meeting a few months back regarding that mansion. And I think that it really behooves the public to learn about zoning overhauls, but I think that they're really going to address a lot of the concerns that were raised at that particular public hearing. I'll make sure to put some information out on social media, but I think this really does, even if after so many months, address a lot of the public's concerns. So I'm going to do what I can to get more folks to, if not show up to the public hearing, at least take a look at the zoning overhaul. And the other thing that I've got is I want to echo what my colleague from the 4th District said. I'm also interested to know where we're at in the process. Specifically, I think that it's reasonable to ask all of the committee members of this bid selection committee whether we have scored the bids yet, whether we have selected a winning bidder yet, whether we are currently in contract negotiations with a winning bidder, whether negotiations have moved on from one bidder to another bidder. I think that these questions in the process are perfectly reasonable for us to ask, and the denial of FOIL requests and other requests for information about bid documents was based on this assertion that there was proprietary information contained in bid documents, but I don't think that same reason would apply to this process. It's the process that we designed, and it's perfectly reasonable for us to ask for a status update, especially given that we're over a month late on receiving a contract from this bid selection committee. So I want to formally sign on to that message that Councilman mentioned. And with that, I look forward.
Thank you, Councilman. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.